What's going on, guys? Love out everybody. We got UFC Fight Night, Blanchfield versus Barber. Prediction breakdown here, guys. We're in Las Vegas, Nevada. 11 fights on this card. Going to be at the Apex, of course. Smaller cage. Before I get started, though, guys, hit a thumbs up button. Also, check out my Patreon account for my face of prediction and prop plays. You can also donate to my PayPal account and leave comments. You guys can leave your plays too, your predictions, what you guys have at the bottom in the comments, and just just speak about anything you want to speak about. You can drop your opinions or facts, whatever you want to do. This is it's an okay card. Like I said, I'm not here to disrespect anybody or any card or anybody on the the fighters or anything like that, because it ain't easy to come in here and fight, man. You gotta train. And then you make weight, which can be tough too, which is sometimes one of the hardest parts, depending on how much you walk around. To make that weight, depending on how much you're cutting, it can be devastating. So it's not easy to come in here, and then also you got to train, consistently. And so a lot of these guys put their health on the line, man. And we all know that your health is your wealth, man. So hats off to all these guys, and let's see what happened. Changes here again. That's why it's good to always check. I just recently just check back, and I noticed that Oki fight with Michael Medeiros is cancelled. So I believe Medeiros withdrew. So they just change it real quick to this Michael Aswal, which I checked out. He was in the contender series and he lost to Bodigrad by a split. But I mean, we get to that though. But just break this down here, guys, and predict it. I know everybody is doing well. I don't like to use the word hope. When you're saying hope, is like hope is maybe you're doing well or maybe you're not. And I don't wish. I will. I will things. So I manifest. So I'm not hoping and not wishing. All these words are just, you gotta be careful the words you're speaking. So I know you guys are doing well. Yeah, man, let's knock this out. First fight here, we have Rayanne dos Santos versus Alice Ardelin, I believe that's how you pronounce her name. Santos here. Santos was in the contender series, lost to Gomez. She will look for the submission. She has actually 8 by submission. She's pretty well rounded. I believe she has more volume than Alice. Let me see here. I feel her entire game is more skilled, in my opinion. She got robbed. Do I have it right? Yeah, she got robbed against. Oh yeah, her 2 more fight she got robbed. Yeah, they gave 2 more split decision. That fight was a robbery. Santos actually won that fight. Yeah, it went to a split to 2 more, but I believe Santos won that fight. Her opponent here, Alice. She has a big social media, like more TikTok and I guess Instagram. She has a lot of followers. Striking is not bad. She's well rounded. Looks like she's in shape for this fight coming up. From her social media, look like she got in real shape, real good shape. Because usually comes in there a little bit more on the thicker side of things. But in this fight here, she's more ripped with abs and more trimmed down. Like she put the work in. You can tell. But the thing about her is that she hasn't really got a win yet. But the thing about her is she will follow you around and she will land punches and kicks, and then she starts to slow down and then not do much. There's not much volume. And a girl like Santos, she comes into her throwing. Like she lets it go and she keeps the pressure. Like I said, Santos will look for the ground also. Alice will also look for the ground too, but it's just that, with Alice, because she doesn't really do much. Her volume is not there, and she just follow you around and kind of stare, look, and then she will let her hands go and kicks go, and then she just kind of freezes and kind of stop and just follow you around. And the time you take, doing that, following around your opponent, the opponent is landing punches and kicks on you, even possibly getting a takedown. So I'm gonna go with Santos here. I'm gonna say Santos by decision, but this is 50-50. Like I said, majority of women fights, it's 50-50. guys fights too, but women, you know, like I said, they will drop the ball. So 50-50 for me. I'm not confident, guys. All right. Next fight, we got Bolaji Oki versus Michael Aswell. With Oki here, Oki gonna have a 4-inch reach in this fight. Can't get submitted like we see in his last fight there, but I believe that if he didn't get caught, I believe he probably could have beat Chris Duncan. Looked like he was on his way, but he got caught in a guillotine, and it happens, man. You know, he can get flat-footed at times, but he let his hands go, pack power. His opponent as well, obviously, is a very short notice because Medeiros pretty much just dropped off the court. This guy here, he just seems hittable to me. You know, his fight against Grad seems hittable. You know, I believe Oki can keep her jabbing and move around, you know, pick his shots, you know, he can, but with his opponent here, though, with Aswell, he seems game, though. So he seemed to be in there. He take a lot of hitting, and he doesn't go out. He seems like he would just be there. He's not a guy that he probably can finish easily. So I would say decision, short notice. I must say Oki by decision. Am I confident in this? I mean, these guys both guys are like contender series guys. We saw what happened to him the last time. Oki got submitted. Anything is possible in this game, but these both guys are not really tested, man. So I'll just go with decision. I'm not confident. I say Oki by the win, by a decision. All right. Next fight, we got Anders Gustafsson versus Trevin Giles. Anders, Greco-Roman wrestler, will grind, pressure forward, grind. We look for submissions and also ground and pound knockouts. Coming from contender series, a lot of guys are coming from contender series. And what I always say with contender series guys, man, I mean, you see this all the time. These contender series guys will always drop the ball, man, majority of the time. Sometimes they'll be like undefeated and they drop the ball. Only a certain ones that are really prospects. Do I feel Gustafsson is a prospect? Not really. This guy is very hittable. Can get catch coming in, slap you with the strikes. We'll push. We'll just keep coming at you. Just eating shots, dude. And against Giles, I don't know. And this could be catch rate. It's like 180 or something like that, I believe. I mean, Trevin Giles is good, man, but you know, just his last couple of fights, he's fighting guys that are like prospect guys. You know, the guys that are fighting are like prospects. I don't feel Anders is a prospect. It's not a disrespect. I just don't feel like he is. He's not defensively sound, dude. He's running forward, eating a lot of shots. He will drop and try to get takedown. Sometimes he doesn't get it. He looks sloppy, bloody all over. He takes a lot of damage, dude. Short notice for Giles, though, but I feel Giles should be able to get this. And if Giles loses this fight, I mean, it's just not a good look. I feel if he loses, he probably should retire. I mean, because he shouldn't lose to a guy like Anders, man. I feel like Giles is more. He's not durable though. That's the thing. Giles is not durable, but with Anders just runs forward and just brawls, man. His technique is not that great. Chin up, sloppy punches. Yeah, I feel Giles got a jab. Giles got a better boxing. Giles has experience, dude. He's just a guy that he should beat, bro. You know, is he gonna be at 180? I feel like he's a more experienced, better striker all around, man. Even if Anders try to get a takedown, possibly he can't even. He won't be able to get it against Giles. But you never know. Giles can get taken down though. But I feel like Anders will struggle with Giles, dude. I'm gonna go Giles. I'm gonna say Giles by decision. It also could be a finish. It could be a first round knockout by Giles. But I don't think Anders has ever been finished, but he's fighting different fighters, man. He's fighting a different caliber of fighter. So it all depends on who you're matching up with, man. If you're matching up with guys that are not that great, you know, they're not that experienced, you go up against a 16 and 7, you know. Not just a number, but guys is skill. Right? So, and he has never faced that before. If that's his first time, he's gonna get knocked out. So it's a strong possibility, dude, that he could get knocked out in this fight. But I'm just going to say Giles by decision. Like I said, Giles hasn't been looking good, man. 3-5 losing. Been getting finished. Been getting submitted. You know, a guy like Gustafsson has submissions, 2 by submission. But anything could happen here, man. Because like I said, Giles still can drop the ball, man. Even though he's supposed to can beat this guy, you know. I'm gonna go with Giles by decision. 50-50. I'm not confident though, guys. All right. Next fight, we got Jordan Leavitt versus Kurt Holloway. Jordan Dirty Dancing Leavitt hasn't fought since 2023. Houston is more the grown. We look for the submission, the Monkey King, or Dirty Dancing Leavitt. Just do the splits all over you. Striking still a suspect though. You know, it looks just very predictable on the foot. But he's kind of working it. He's getting kind of better. But he uses it most of his wrestling. He was actually winning against Hooper. He was actually doing good against Hooper until he got caught by submission or rear naked choke, which he has 2 losses by rear naked chokes, man. So Kurt has submissions, and Kurt's pretty good on the ground. So Kurt could get a submission on him. Kurt has rear naked chokes finishes. The only thing about Kurt can get taken down. That's the thing. And he starts off okay, but he slows down. And sometimes it's just his movement, his mannerisms is not as quick, right? But this guy's well-rounded. The guy a veteran. He keep pressure on you, and he will look for submission or even look for the knockout. I feel Jordan is just a quicker fighter here. And the wrestling, like I said with Kurt, his issue with him is that he can get taken down, man, and he hangs out on his back. His transitions are not that quick, so I feel Jordan should be able to get a win here. You know, against his last opponent there, Chase Hooper. Chase Hooper is quick on the ground, can scramble well and everything, so that's why he got his back like that. I don't feel Kurt can be able to do that because, like I said, he's more slower. His manner, his twitch muscle, fast fiber is not as quick, right? His means to scramble up quick is just not there. Maybe in the first one he may be able, but as the fight prolongs, I feel Jordan is just crafty, more wrestler guy that's going to go for takedowns. And, you know, I'm not going to, hopefully, hopefully, this is where you can use hopefully, man, between these two guys. You never know, man. You know, Kurt could catch him with a submission, dude. Kurt could catch him with a submission, man. So, it's just one of those things where, yeah, he could get caught. Kurt has a couple by submission, I believe. He has at least 4. He has a lot by submission. I don't know how much. I believe it's like 14. Maybe I could be saying it. Maybe I think it's Allen and Filho has that much. Says not give me a hard time here. It's kind of slowing down here, man. Come on. Come on, man. Okay. Yeah, it's 10 by submission, so it's kind of close. So you could submit Jordan, man. You know, Jordan been submitted twice, like I said. So you could shoot for takedown, get caught in guillotines. You could be on this, you know, have Kurt in his back and Kurt throw up, you know, some kind of submission armbar probably. You just never know, dude. But I'm going to go with Jordan, Dirty Dancing, Leavitt by decision, man. 50-50, guys. Can't sleep on these veterans, man. And like I said, it's the next fight here, Jordan Leavitt. Even by, you look at the record, 11-3, 21-9, you know, Kurt has a great chance of beating Jordan, man. I just feel like the wrestling from Jordan, and Kurt doesn't stop the takedowns. And when he gets taken down, he just hangs out on his back the entire round. That's the only reason why I'm picking Jordan, because I know he can get the takedowns, and Kurt can get taken down and hang out on his back. If Kurt had good takedown defense, I'll probably go for Kurt. But Jordan Dirty Dancing Leavitt by decision, guys, 50-50. Not confident. Next fight, we got Alain Nascimento versus Jafel Filho. This is going to be a good fight, man. These guys are both BJJ black belts, and they're pretty awesome on the ground, man. Pretty freaking awesome, man. Both guys are specialists with submission. These guys are very, very good, man. Coming out of shoot boxing is Allen. Striking is kind of, you know, up in the air there. Hasn't fought since 2023. Was in the Contender Series 2018. Lost a split decision to Rowland Paivo. Never been finished. Can get taken down though. That's the thing about this guy. He doesn't mind getting taken down and just being on his back. Filho would defend the takedowns, but this guy here will welcome it because he wants to scramble and go for arm bars and go for all different kind of submission. And he will get it because he can throw up the submission. So let me see here. His striking is, he throw leg kicks, more like a shoot boxing kind of style, but I feel that Filho is a better striker. The only thing though about Filho, he's been submitted twice. That's the thing about this fight. When we look on Allen, Allen's never been submitted, dude. Again, it all depends on the caliber of fighter that you've been fighting. I feel that obviously Filho has faced tougher competition. You know, as far as his last fight, what was his last fight? Against, well, it wasn't his last fight. It was against Muhammad and Makhachev, where he had Muhammad in that fight, man. He messed up his leg. He messed up his knee, actually. He tore, I believe, his ACL or something like that. He jacked up his knee in that fight. He had it, but it's just that Muhammad didn't tap. But he had that. He had it, man. Some referees could have stopped it, you know. But he had him the knee bar clean. This guy will come out swinging, man. Put the pressure on your dog like kind of well, but his wrestling is pretty good. If he's able to can wrestle Allen and avoid getting submitted, he will win this fight. But Allen is dangerous. Both these guys are dangerous. 10 by submission by Filho. And Allen has, I believe, 14. I think this is the guy that has 14. Could be wrong, though. Has 14, exactly. But he has never been finished, though. That's the thing. But it all depends on the matchups that you're having. He's been fighting Carlos Hernandez, Jake Adley. Tajar took him to split, which he did pretty good against Tajar. Tajar's a pretty good fighter. Lost to Contender Series 2018. I'm going to push towards Filho here. Again, Allen could submit him because, like I said, he's been submitted. But I feel like Jafel Filho has faced tougher competition. It just all depends on the competition you're facing. You know what I mean? And what he did against Muhammad there, he pretty much had that fight. You know? So his other fights here. Daniel Barez is not a bad fighter. Won his Contender Series match. I'm going to go with Filho. I'm going to say Filho by decision, guys. But it's going to be a very good fight. I wasn't going to say it would cancel. Maybe the BJJ is going to cancel out. But nah. Allen loves the ground, man. Filho will strike more and not too much on the ground. But Allen loves the ground. So he's going to end up just going to the ground eventually. Or unless Filho just defends it and just keep it standard. But both guys are good as far as like BJJ and everything like that. And they're pretty well rounded too. I'm going to go with Jafel Filho by decision, guys. 50-50. Not confident this one at all. This one is heads or tail, to be honest with you. Both good guys, man. Both pretty kind of mirror image in a kind of sense as far as the grown. You know, they're both slick and slimy in the grown and just like transition, scramble, transition. It's all over the place, and it's like a chess match. But Jafel Filho decision. Next fight we got Zachary Reese versus Dusko Pajovic. Zach here is another 5-inch of reach, which is massive. Heavy hitter, rangy. Like I said, 5-inch of reach. Can get taken down though, and can get ground and pounded, man. He will also look for submissions off his back, but being on his back ain't the place he wants to be because he doesn't do good off his back, dude. You know, he got slammed by Cody, and against Asmad, he got ground and pounded out, man. Nasty in that fight. Dusko on the hand, Dusko been coming off a lot of injuries, man. His knee been messed up, and it messed up again, and they fixed it again, so it's not like one time, messed up twice. It's just a guy that's like, he started out kind of good, but the thing about it, he was on this thing where he would bob and weave and slip, but in his head would just be there to hit. So his hands would be down, but you know, some people does it well, and some just don't do it as good. And he was getting caught with a lot of punches now, and then now the more you catch with punches, is just the more damage you're getting. Just getting hit to the head consistently, your confidence go down. So you're not really sure in doing that no more. And then when you try to do it, it's when you get knocked down. So now he's getting knocked down a lot. Been finished 4 times by knockout. He's a more experienced guy. Let's see. But he backpedals too much. And he backpedals too much with his chin up and his head's there and his hands down. You know what I mean? So it's like one of those fights where he's just super hittable, dude. Super hittable, man. And he's not used to keeping his hands up like that, because that doesn't look like it's his game. He's more like, you know, more of the shell kind of vibe and like drop the hand slip. But he doesn't do it as well. And if he does it against Reyes, Reyes is going to catch him. So I'm going to go with Reyes by KO in the first round, but I wouldn't sleep on Dusko though. Still, he's still the experienced guy. If he uses his ground, which his ground is where he mostly shine, he could get Reyes down. Possibly look for a submission on him. It's possible, man. Or even ground and pound Reyes. Because like I said, when you look at Reyes, Reyes is coming from the next guy that's, I believe, from the Contender Series, right? Yeah, back in 2023. I mean, he's a guy that's a fast finisher, a quick finisher guy, heavy-handed, but as far as like experience-wise, I would say Dusko is a more experienced guy. So it could be a fight where Dusko could actually come in there and get a win, man. But it's just a fact. There's a fact of the reach and how Dusko been looking. He's just been getting finished every single fight, and coming off of injuries. I'm gonna go with Reyes. I'm gonna say Reyes by KO in the first round, but I'm not confident, guys. 50-50. But I wouldn't sleep on Dusko. Like the fact that his strength is more the ground. So if he can get this fight to the ground, Zach doesn't seem to do good off his back, man. Especially when he's getting ground and pounded. Next fighter, we got Ketlen Vera versus Macy Chiasson. Vera here, BJJ black belt, well-rounded skill, but she would drop the ball, man. Especially when he start to apply a little pressure to her. Can get low volume at times, kind of slow down, can get taken down sometimes. Sometimes she looks like she doesn't want to be there. Like, it's just like, kind of like a nonchalant kind of vibe. It's like, she would start off good and kind of just slow down, just doesn't do much. With Macy, she can't do that because Macy's gonna keep coming. Macy's a dog. She's gonna keep coming, and keep pushing at a high ass pace. And but Macy can get submitted. But if you look at Vera, I don't think Vera has ever submitted anybody in the UFC. So I mean, but first time for anything though. But I just feel like the pace from Macy is gonna give her problems. She has never got a submission in the UFC. Well, actually, she did against Sherman, man. My bad. She got a arm triangle choke. That's her only submission she had. All other submissions out of the organization. Yeah, I mean, I just feel the pace for Macy is just too much in my opinion. I'm gonna go Macy by decision. But again, woman fight, 50-50, man. And then Macy got that dog. She's gonna keep pushing. And again, and then with Vera, she doesn't. After a while, you keep pushing on her like that. Knock her against the cage. You can pin her there, pepper her up, possibly take her down, hit her, and then it's just one of those fights. You just rinse and repeat. So Macy by decision, 50-50, guys. Not confident. Next fight here, we got Dustin Jacoby versus Bruno Lopes. Dustin Jacoby, man, kickboxer, high level, kickboxer glory. This guy is a very good striker. Ground game has gotten better. He knows how to reverse now off the cage. Don't get stuck against the cage. He can reverse, scramble well. He's getting better with the takedown defense. He's a little bit hittable at times. After a while, I start to notice that he's starting to get hit, but I think he said that because he's forcing the fights. He's trying to make the fights exciting, so he would try to just kind of like push forward, just try to get a finish, and then that's when he gets hit. But when he paces himself and look for the openings and just pepper, and look for the right moment, he does a lot better. He's a better striker here, and he's definitely the more experienced guy. Man, look at Lopes coming from Contender Series, which the Contender Series pretty much the first time he got knocked out by Brenson Ribeiro, if you guys remember that. Then he came back and then got a finish. Against Magomed here, he got a game plan on him. Magomed more on the outside, pepper shots, more footwork and jabs. So he keep the fight close and then pull off a decision, which was a good game plan by him. He keep the fight tight and wrestle. Dustin Jacoby, on the other hand, Dustin Jacoby is a veteran. And he's well-rounded and faces a lot of tough competition, man. This is a fight for Dustin to win. I don't feel Lopes should beat Dustin, man. On the foot, Dustin is a way better striker. Way better striker. Let me see here. Lopes would try to do the wrestling and try to grind against the cage, but I feel Dustin has saw that before. Dustin see this. He see Lopes a lot. Alonzo Menfield, he see it. Asmat, which is a higher level than Bruno. He already seen that. Kalaronchi, he see. Dong Wong Jung, he's seen that already. So against Lopes doesn't do that at a high. I mean, he's decent with it, but he's not at a high level like the guys that Dustin has faced. So it's a fight where I feel possibly could be a knockout for Dustin, man. So I'm gonna say Dustin by KOTK in the first round. He's just Lopes striking. He's just open, dude. He's open to get hit, and against a precision, technical, seasoned striker like Dustin. Even though smaller cage, you should be can get a finish in this one. So I'm gonna say Dustin by KOTK in the first round, guys. But I'm not confident though, because like I said, Dustin Jacoby can drop the ball, but he usually drop the ball against more experienced guys. So let's see what happens. Just like again, is the next guy here. He's contender series guy, you know. So we see what happens. Experience from Jacoby, 20-9, but he's really skilled, you know. So I mean, we'll see what happens. But Jacoby by KOTK first round, guys. Next fighter, we got Ramiz Brahimajov versus Billy Ray Goff. You know what I noticed about some of these guys here? Some of these guys are coming off of a lot of injuries. You know, I believe Ramiz has like coming off of like some eye injury. His ear almost tore off. Spinal injury, and which I noticed. You know, when I watch a lot of these guys, I look for a decline as far as how he used to look way back in his days. And what I noticed from him, when he came back from a surgery against Tumbo, he ain't looked the same at all, dude. He's not pushing takedowns like he used to. He's not ready, because his tennis is wrestling. His tennis is more wrestling. His tennis is not really striking. You know, he has like 10 by submission, so that's where he shines more. So he's like a grinder with grinder with a lot of submissions. But after the surgery, he just hasn't been doing that. And when you talk about spinal surgery, dude, back surgery, dude, never be the same, man. Knee surgery is the next thing where you never be the same either. But back, once your back is jacked up, it's pretty much over, dude. It's like it's gonna be. Some people maybe can come back from it, but boy, man, that's a tough one. Same thing with I just found out Yusuf also had back surgery. But I know that we had a break, but that other card, I believe it was Morales versus Burns, and it was Yusuf was on that card against Santos. I didn't realize that Yusuf also had surgery in his back, man. Something in his back, and you can see it. You can see the decline in him. It's not moving like he used to. His punches don't really pack that power. Remember all your nerves in your back, you know. That controls everything in the man. Can control your function in your arms, man. Your nerves control your digestive system. That's all electricity up your spine. Your body's electrical. So when your back get messed up, that control your brain function. They control your taste, your digestive system. It control nerves running down your legs. You may have some kind of sciatica problem because of that, like pinch nerve running, like pain running down the leg. Numbness in the arm, which I believe Ramiz had. I believe he had a damage in his arm, like he wasn't able to use. He had no feeling in his arm for like 3 months. So these are the things that I look at when I see guys like that. He's not the same. Even when he fought Mickey Gall, you know, he looked good. You know, the punches, he got the finish, but Mickey Gall, you know, hasn't been there either. He hasn't. He's been a losing streak. A guy like Goff, I mean, Goff is you know, the youth is there. You know, he's not injured. You know, he's like ready to go. He's in good condition. You know, can be hittable. You know, would push a heavy pace, runs into shots, but he's game. He will look to grind for takedown. He has no injuries. You know, dealing with a guy like Ramiz who has a spinal injury. I believe something with his eye. It's too much, man. I'm just gonna go with Goff on this one. I'm gonna say Billy Goff by a decision, but I'm not confident. Again, we look at Ramiz. Ramiz more experienced guy. You know, we look at Billy Goff here, came off a loss against Trey Waters, but Trey Waters is a good rangy fighter, dude, and he's good in the movement, technical guy. And he did pretty good against Trey Waters. You know, he was hanging in there. He had a lot of shots. And there's a reach advantage in that fight. With Ramiz ain't going to be jabbing like that. Ramiz is going to be more brawling, and it's going to be one of those brawling fights that Goff likes. So it's going to fit him for the win. So I must say, because Goff is more of a brawler, more of a zombie dude. So I'm going to go with Goff by decision, 50-50. Again, guys, you know, with Ramirez, possibly, you know, you can see him looking slightly the same, but man, back injury is just something where it's tough. It's tough. Anybody I see with back injury and they say they hurt the back or anything like that, or anything to do with the head, like as far as a concussion or bleeding the brain, which is dangerous, they're not going to be the same, dude. Knees too. People with knee injuries too. Sometimes it's just don't. You can't push off the same. You're not confident in throwing techniques. You're not confident in moving like you used to move because you feel like you're gonna, you know, your knee gonna slip out, even though you have the surgery. It's just a mental thing. But the back, the spine, that's dangerous. So I'm gonna go with Billy by decision, guys. I'm not confident. Next fighter, we got Mateusz Gamrot versus Ľudovít Klein. Gamrot here, more look for the wrestling, more grinding. Striking can be kind of wild at times, leave himself open, can gas himself out. He forces his striking. That's the thing he does. He forces it too much. And he seems to be gassing out a lot more now. You can see him gas out in the first round, depending on how much the guy strikes with him. And then he's just want to get the fight to the ground. He will also get a submission on you. But with Gamrot, I notice that he's slightly declining a little bit. I notice he's slightly declining. You know, with that, you know, with the Rafael dos Santos fight, even, you know, every fight with the Rafael Fiziev, you know, hurt his knee. You know, his knee got messed up in that fight. General Turner, I believe General Turner won that fight. It was a robbery. Dan Hooker fight, you can see a decline in Gamrot. Like, he pressures so much with the striking. He forces it so much, and when the guy can strike, he tends to like shy away and want to just wrestle, but then he seems like he can't keep up with it anymore like how he used to. And a guy like Klein can strike, dude. He can strike. He has a devastating head kick. Devastating Mawashi Garry. I believe he's off the left leg. Striking, boxing is not bad. His ground game has improved. He will also look for takedowns, but he can get submitted or been submitted twice. Has 8 by submission, but he's been submitted twice. And Gamrot has 8 by knockout and 5 by submission. So he has more by knockout, but I just feel like there's a slight decline in him, man. He just doesn't look the same. I just feel Klein, I don't know, man. It's actually a tricky one, guys, because Gamrot could win this fight, but Klein is not a pushover, dude. Klein is experience and skill, and he can strike. And like I said, Gamrot is more like want to wrestle, but he can strike, but it's not as clean as Klein, though. You know what I'm saying? And Klein does has takedown defense, and Klein can wrestle. Not as good as Gamrot. Gamrot, that's going to be Gamrot's bread and butter there, right? But I just feel like there's a step missed. Like, I feel Gamrot's missed a step. Like, he ain't the same. He's not how he used to be. So there's a slight decline. And any kind of decline of anything, I don't know, maybe he's just reached that point. I know after a while, a lot of these fighters and martial artists, you know, we reach a point where just don't look the same anymore. And just that little don't look the same. And Klein is improving from what I've seen. Klein has been improving. I just feel Gamrot hasn't improved. Just does the same thing, and now he's missing a step. So I'm gonna go with Ľudovít Klein by decision, guys, but I'm not confident. A lot of these fights, I ain't confident in it. A lot of them. Main fight on the card here, guys. We got Erin Blanchfield versus Macy Barber. This is a 5-round fight, man. And originally I was kind of like looking at Barber, like Barber probably could win this, but it's a 5-round fight, and 5-round fight gonna favor Erin because Erin is a freaking dog. You know, she will look to grind, dirty, striking. She likes to fight dirty. Like I said, she's a dog, and let me see, whatever. Her striking can be predictable at times, but against Rosa Menounos, she looks good. Against Maddalena, she wasn't able to do that because Maddalena keep her on the outside and pepper her up. Maddalena is more of a technical striker. Macy, though, can be technical, but she likes a dog fight. You know, she wants to keep the fight dog. Like, just keep it on the inside. She may change for this camp and keep it on the outside, but most of her fights, she just, I don't know if she loses her composure, but she likes to just wing punches and just keep it a dog fight. I feel Macy is the better fighter, Her ground defense has improved, but she can still get taken down. You know, like I said, she has a little dog in her, right? She has a slight dog in her, but I believe Erin has more of the bite, right? More of the dog. Barber, on the other hand, Barber has a couple of injuries too, man. You know, Barber came off a knee injury. I believe she had something with her foot. Recently, she had something with her foot in 2023. So after the knee, then she had something with her foot. I believe it's like a blister or what do you call it, man? A bunion or something like that. Like she had to remove, and like something with her toe or something, like she tore something in the foot, in the instep or on the toe. So she had to get that fixed. So it's a next thing here where you're dealing with, you know, even though, you know, age and number still, but, you know, she have time to recover. You know, it's not like she's been taking a lot of damage. It's not like she in her 30s or 40s. You know, she have time to recover good. You know, so it's you know, it's a tough one here because Erin likes to fight close. She likes to fight in a clinch. You know, that's where Erin shines, and it's a 5-round fight. So, you know, how does Barber look in a 5-round fight? I don't know because she never fought 5 rounds. So I'm going to go with Erin. I'm going to say Erin by decision, just for the fact that, like I said, Marcia Barber come off a foot surgery, you know, knee also. But knee was kind of way back, I believe, when she fought Roxanne Medifori. You know, but the foot, like the instep and the bunion was around 2023, after, I believe, the Rebus fight. But this fight is scrappy. It's going to be a scrappy fight, man. But again, the reason why I'm not going for Barber, because it's a 5-round fight, and Barber never fought 5. And I believe with Erin can keep the fight. Erin wants to be in the inside, and I believe Erin has wrestling. I believe Erin's wrestling possibly a little better. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, as longer the fight goes, it's going to favor Erin. You know, and Barber could slow down in this fight. Never did 5 rounds, man. Once you start hitting the third, you're like, oh damn, the third is over, but there's a fourth, you know, and it could be different. So I'm gonna go with Erin. I'm gonna say Erin by decision, guys. I'm not confident. Quick look at the odds here, guys. So we're working with these crazy odds. Crazy odds. Crazy odds, man. Let's look at this real quick here. We got what is this? What is this? Okay, 360. Do I agree with that? Hell no. Like I said, man, these guys are not too proven, man. You know what I mean? And anything can happen. We see, okay, got submitted real quick. You know what I mean? And you see a guy like Aswell coming in there from Contender Series. You know, he looks like a game dude, but he has a lot of holes. But he looks game to keep coming forward to put pressure. We see, okay, can gas out. No. Alice and Santos at 260 something, dude. No, bro. I mean, like I said, women fight, anything is possible. We usually see the big underdogs and women coming in. I totally disagree with this one, for sure. Dirty Dancing Jordan Leavitt, 218 against Kurt. Hell no. Because Kurt can submit him. He's known to get submitted. The wrestling is what I'm going for him, because Kurt can get taken down. But while on the ground, anything is possible, like what we see. I disagree with that, man. The odds in here are crazy. Gustafsson and Trevin Gustafsson is favorite. I disagree with that. If there's anything, this fight should be even. This fight should be even, man. Can Gustafsson win? Yeah, that's why it's even. Because guys will drop the ball, even though he's more experienced and he's supposed to win this fight, because he's a more skilled guy. He's a more skilled guy everywhere. You know, if the fight starts standing up, he should be able to win this. But the odds at 170 is bananas. That's an even fight. Allen and Filho. Allen is 1-5. Disagree. This is the next even fight here. Both guys are pretty similar in skill set, dude. Like mirror images, bro. There's no way that Allen should be 1-5. It's an even fight. Either one of these guys could win. Especially the chess match like this. Either one can. Allen has never been submitted. It's the first time for everything. So, I mean, we see. Caitlin Vera and Macy, even fight. I don't disagree. Even fight. I don't disagree with. Well, actually, hold on. Macy's a slight favorite. So that, I mean, that's fine. Like I feel Macy is gonna put a pace on her. So I feel Macy should be the favorite. So, but it's kind of like even at the same time. But like for woman fight, it's fine. Dusko and Zach. Zach is 230 something. Again, I disagree. I just feel Zach, he's okay, but he just hasn't faced any tough competition really. I mean, he does face, you know, some guys who shouldn't beat him. He get knocked out. And all these things can happen. And Dusko's experience, man. Even though he's been losing, you know, guy is pretty decent on the ground. And that's where Zach is losing most of. It's just being in his back. Oh, man. No, dude. Billy and Ramiz. They got Billy at 300 and something. That's freaking bananas, dude. Like I said, with Ramiz, surgery, back surgery is not the same. Okay, I could understand that. But, man, still, dude, man. I mean, we're talking about experience, though. And if Ramiz is in there, that means that it feels like he could win. So it's a possibility, even though he could have some back injuries and all these things. But odds on Billy shouldn't be so high, dude. No, man. I'll have Billy as a slight favorite, but not at 300 or something. Bruno Lopes and Dustin Jacoby. Okay, Dustin Jacoby's favorite. I mean, I could see that. You know, I mean, Dustin's supposed to win this fight, just like how we say Giles should win the fight too. But still, you know, Jacoby could drop the ball. You know what I'm saying? The only way how he dropped the ball if Lopes can get him down consistently. Which, from what I see from Lopes wrestling, he's not supposed to. I feel Jacoby, you know, he faced tougher guys with wrestling, man. You know what I mean? Klein and Gamrot. Gamrot as favorite. This fight, honestly, is an even fight. I like Klein, but I feel it's an even fight. Like I said, I feel Gamrot missed a step. So I feel it's an even fight, dude. And Erin and Barber. I got Erin at 238. I guess. 5-round fight. Barber never fought 5-round. Coming off a foot surgery. You know, Barber may fight the way how Erin want to fight, which is dog fight. Just dog fight. You know, in a dog fight, I feel Erin is probably the more of a dog here. So I don't see nothing wrong with that. But that's it right there, guys. But again, a woman fight. Still be careful, man. I still say it's even, though. Women fights I keep us even, dude. Because we see women fights, big old favorite, and underdogs keep winning. So that's it right there, guys. That's my odd breakdowns there. Crazy odd breakdown. And you guys have a good one. And yeah, man. Subscribe to the channel, guys. Hit the thumbs up button so the algorithm can favor. And then, you know, videos can get out. Get that algorithm working for me. Get some more subscription in there and all that good stuff. You guys keep on kicking, man. One love out to everybody. And us.